Welcome to the Retiring Canada podcast, where our mission is to educate and empower you to make the most informed, rational, and productive financial decisions. Hosted by certified financial planner, author, and chartered investment manager Michael Isbister, you'll go behind the scenes to uncover the tips and strategies to help you invest smarter, optimize your retirement income, and reduce the amount of tax you pay. Michael is an investment advisor with Fundamental Wealth, a trade name of Harbourfront Wealth Management, an IROC dealer. And now, here's your host, Michael Isbister.
Hello everyone, and welcome again to the Retiring Canada podcast. In today's episode, we're going to discuss oversaving in retirement accounts. Specifically, I'm going to chat about 3 considerations when you have more than enough, a real-world example of not having a plan in place, working through the fear of spending in retirement, how to create a legacy from your abundance, and lastly, as always, a few action items for you to consider. Oversaving in retirement sounds like a good thing. And it is. Having more than you need to meet your income needs and knowing you won't run out of money is a liberating feeling. First world problems, no doubt. But this oversaving can introduce a number of new obstacles and considerations that you otherwise may not have to consider. Let's chat about a few of these today. First and foremost is tax planning. With oversaving, you've likely utilized all of your RRSP room, TFSA room, you have a very well-funded individual or joint non-registered account, along with a few properties, some of which may be producing an income stream for you. During your accumulation years before retirement, you have done all the right things to bring you towards abundance, and now you are trying to figure out how to unwind it all. This is where tax planning is critical. First, I have to mention that I operate a financial planning practice that has generational history, meaning that many of the clients worked with our team before I was even in the industry 15 years ago, and now these clients are obviously older. With that passage of time, we have been a part of the accumulation and decumulation stages of their finances and have a unique insight, having been a part of hundreds of families' financial life cycles. Now, a common scenario we come across is the oversaver. Maxed out registered accounts, 2 or 3 properties, and substantial non-registered investment accounts. It is these scenarios where we provide a lot of value, and here are some common things one must consider. First, the timing of starting your CPP and OAS pensions. Depending on your age and other incomes, you may choose to delay these to help unwind your registered accounts and avoid a tax bomb that awaits your estate. Second is proper income splitting. You have an opportunity to strip income out of these fully taxable accounts more efficiently between you and your spouse and can have a major impact on the choice you make on where to draw income from. Third is mitigating OAS clawback later in life. If we assume you are over 70 and must take old age security, the goal is to help ensure that this effective 15% additional tax is mitigated or eliminated to the best of our ability. Fourth is to optimize your non-registered investments and be thoughtful on your asset location. In English, investments are taxed differently, and they should be thoughtfully held in the proper investment account. Fifth and lastly is to take advantage of the tax valley. That is the time between retirement and age 70 where the goal should be to tilt the scales down on your fully taxable accounts and shift your retirement nest egg to tax-free and tax-preferred accounts. Before I go to the next consideration, I want to give an example of what happens when you don't implement proper tax planning and decumulation in retirement. So, husband and wife, successful, have oversaved and have transitioned fully into retirement. they are both 60. They have $1.5 million in RRSPs, fully maxed out tax-free savings accounts, a home, a cottage, property in Palm Springs, and a joint non-registered account with another $1.5 million. Without proper tax advice, this couple starts their CPP and OAS at age 65. They defer their RRSP accounts until age 71, when they must be converted to a RIF. They draw their retirement income from their non-registered account investments in an effort to keep their taxes as low as possible. Fast forward to age 71, and their RRSPs have grown and now must be converted to a RIF. It is reasonable to assume that between Canadian Pension Plan and Old Age Security, RIF minimums, and non-registered distributions, this couple will likely have their OAS partially or completely clawed back, an effective 15% tax increase on income earned beyond the OAS threshold. Fast forward to 75, they decide to sell their cottage, and this has a substantial gain. And because they're already in a high tax bracket, the deemed disposition from the cottage will bump them into the highest marginal rate. Fast forward again to 80, and the husband passes away. All assets roll over to his wife, tax deferred. But now, all of the RIF income and non-registered income are taxed in her hands. Zoom out again to age 95. She now passes away, and her estate gets rocked with a substantial tax bomb. That RIF is 100% taxable as income, and in this scenario will very likely drive up the estate to a nearly 50% marginal tax rate, which would then also apply to the disposition of the remainder of the taxable assets in her estate. In a nutshell, by trying to minimize tax early in life and defer as much as possible, the CRA ends up being the largest beneficiary of your estate. Now, I am all for saving tax. That's my core mission as an advisor. But you must see the forest through the trees. While minimizing tax today is important, you must also understand how the decisions you make today will impact your future. The next consideration for oversavers is underliving. Financially successful individuals and families often get to that level of abundance through hard work, consistency, frugality, and time. For many, it can be difficult to change your saving mindset as you enter your retirement, which is completely understandable. Decumulation is a complete 180 to what you've been doing your whole life. But what was the purpose of it all? Why oversave? While some may have found drive and purpose getting that number as high as possible, others do it because they watched their parents struggle and told themselves they would never want to be in that same position. Or maybe it's for the kids and grandkids. Whatever your reason, the good fortune that got you into this position is one that should now be converted into memories with the ones you love. If your advisor has created a tax-wise decumulation plan that gives you the confidence to spend and not run out of money, do it. Go on that holiday, gift your children, buy that vehicle. Enjoy your years of hard work and dedication that got you to where you are today. You deserve it. Another consideration if you have oversaved entering retirement is to create a legacy and share your wealth. One such tool you could use to achieve this philanthropic goal is to establish a donor-advised fund. Now, a donor-advised fund allows the same privileges as a private foundation, but with lower administrative costs and far greater flexibility. This kind of structure enables a donor to benefit from immediate tax savings for the full value of their donation, and at the same time enables them to develop a charitable giving plan for dispersing the funds to individual charities. That way, your gift can help to meet both the immediate and long-term funding needs for the charitable programs that matter most to you. This is a fantastic way to create a family legacy, to share your abundance and good fortune with those charities and organizations that need your support. And when it comes to donations, you could consider cash, securities, mutual funds, and insurance. This is a tool often used by those who have a significant capital gain attached to a security ETF, or mutual fund. By transferring this kind of asset directly to a donor-advised fund or other charity, you benefit from the full donation tax credit while eliminating the capital gain tax that would have otherwise been payable at that point in time. Lastly is to review your estate plan and ensure your wishes are being met accordingly. Now, I'm not implying that only the oversavers need an estate plan. In fact, I think everyone, regardless of monetary wealth, should have their estate planning documents in order. But alas, in the words of Christopher Wallace, more money, more problems. Now, here are a few key considerations that oversavers should be reviewing in their estate plan. First, if I died today, how will my estate be taxed? This will give you a clear picture on your current estate tax liability and will help formulate your decumulation strategy today to optimize your retirement income and estate. Second, review the beneficiaries of your will, retirement accounts, and insurance policies. Oftentimes, we come across unequal distributions of estates. Usually, this is completely unintentional, but we find that as the complexity of one's finances increases, these kinds of errors tend to be a bit more common, and often with big dollar amounts attached to them. Third and lastly, if you have children or grandchildren you wish to receive an inheritance, consider the timing and amounts of those distributions. Is it your intent to have your 18-year-old child or grandchild receive a large sum of money up front? Or should it be spread out over a few years to mitigate money mismanagement? Like I said at the start of this podcast, oversaving brings its own set of unique challenges and decisions that need to be met head on. This is where simplifying your finances through consolidation, building a long-term advisory relationship, and getting the most out of your time will help to convert your lifetime of savings into memories and a legacy that will last far beyond your days on this earth. Okay, so that'll do it all for today. Here are your action items for today's episode. First off, if you and your spouse both got hit by the proverbial bus today, what would your estate bill look like? This tax bill will only continue to inflate if you don't start to get a handle on decumulation of your retirement assets. Lastly, if you have a rock-solid retirement plan and you have been considering taking your family on a trip or making that memory with your spouse in an exotic location, don't hesitate. Life is short. Enjoy your time, share your wealth, and live abundantly. Okay, so that'll do it for today's episode. Make sure you add us on all of our socials, LinkedIn and Facebook. Be sure to sign up for our weekly Retiring Canada newsletter. And hey, when it comes to your retirement, don't take chances. Make a plan so you can retire with confidence.
All comments are of a general nature and should not be relied upon as individual advice. The views and opinions expressed in this commentary may not necessarily reflect those of Harbourfront Wealth Management. While every attempt is made to ensure accuracy, facts and figures are not guaranteed. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing or tax advice. Please seek advice from your accountant regarding anything raised in the content of the podcast regarding your individual tax situation. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning.